Hi everyone, this is Phoenix Ankaa from the Phoenix Ankaa channel. This presentation today, I am so glad I finally got this finished. This presentation is for everyone that lives in South Carolina and North Carolina, also my subscribers, and especially to Tina May, my subscriber named Tina May. I could tell by the comments that she would write that she was really concerned about these areas. This is dedicated to you, Tina May, and everyone else that would like to know about it. This is not just isolated to North Carolina and South Carolina. Unconfirmed earthquakes are all over the globe. And I tell you, we're going to give you stats, we're going to give you figures, we're even going to let you see other states, what they're going through, and then we're going to show you even all of the United States. One big stat that you're going to find out about unconfirmed earthquakes. This is Phoenix Ankaa. Make sure you like, share, hit the little bell and subscribe, and also comment. If you have some comments about this, let's talk about it. Let's do this. All right, let's get to business. We're going to talk about it now. Let's go ahead and see what our whole agenda is going to be. This is all definitely about, mainly about North Carolina and South Carolina, unconfirmed earthquakes. The thing I want to emphasize the most is that this is not just isolated to these two states. This is happening all around the globe, worldwide. Now, like to just break down a few things before we start. There has been a concern about the number of unconfirmed earthquakes, I call them UCEs, between North Carolina and South Carolina as far as what they've gone through. It's very challenging to have questions when no one's been capable of answering concerns. Today you'll have confirmation and information to assist you. Once again, this isn't isolated to just North Carolina and South Carolina. This is a worldwide event. Our agenda today is that first we're going to discuss what is the definition of unconfirmed, the difference of a truth or a fact, which is very, very important, how earthquakes were reported, common UCE magnitudes, what were people's response to a UCE, what are the UCE totals for North Carolina and South Carolina? And then we're going to do a summary and a close of the whole entire presentation. After this presentation, I'm just going to go through a couple of pages worth of unconfirmed earthquakes for different states so you can see what they went through, and also for the entire US. Just going to scroll down so you can see the magnitude of earthquakes that happened that were unconfirmed. We're going to identify them. We're not going to go through every one of them. We're just going to talk about places that we least expect to have an unconfirmed earthquake. All right, let's go ahead with the first topic. Our first topic is, what is the definition of unconfirmed? Well, synonyms for the word unconfirmed, according to thesaurus.com, are unfounded, unjustified, unsubstantiated, unjustifiable, and groundless. These are just a few. Basically, an unjustifiable earthquake is what an unconfirmed earthquake is. Etymology wise, we all know that un means not. So if it's unconfirmed, it means meaning not supported by further information. In other words, to confirm exactly what the event was, more evidence would have to be provided in order for us to understand it. Now, what is significant is, what is the difference of a truth or a fact? Let's let Larry Walsh, who is the founder and CEO and chief analyst of the 2112 group, tell us what it is. A fact is something that's indisputable based on empirical research and quantifiable measures. Facts go beyond theories. They're proven through calculation and experience, or there's something that definitely occurred in the past. Truth is entirely different. It may include fact, but it can also include belief. Now that's the key between a truth and a fact. Now, we have to ask ourselves, how were these earthquakes reported for South Carolina, North Carolina, and just about anywhere that you have earthquakes? How are they recorded? Well, they were duplicates in reporting. If any earthquake from North Carolina was felt in South Carolina, or it was close to South Carolina, it would also show in South Carolina's list of earthquakes, and vice versa. Adjacent states were also in the seismic data. You will see examples right at the very end of the presentation. I'm going to show this to you. Now, always called, once again, unconfirmed earthquakes. I do call them UCEs at times. Common UCE magnitudes observed. From me looking at different earthquakes all the time, I saw a trend. What was that trend? Well, the most common magnitudes for an unconfirmed earthquake observed was between 3.0 to 4.0 magnitudes, but consistently saw a pattern of 3.8 as a magnitude for a lot of the unconfirmed earthquakes. Now, we have to ask ourselves, we have people that are experiencing these unconfirmed earthquakes. What are they saying? What are they saying they're experiencing? That is the key. That is the key evidence of what might be going on. Let's read a few of these responses and find out, what are people experiencing? We're going to take one of the most recent type of unconfirmed earthquakes, just a general one. This one happened July the 23rd, 4 weeks ago. Magnitude says unknown, but they did have 3.2 there and a question mark. So it's like 3.2, maybe higher or lower, but we do know it's around in the range of a 3.2. Otherwise, they would not have put that there. Now, the significant thing about this little 3.2, there was 190 people reporting in that they felt it. So we're not going to look at 192, but we're going to look, let's see what these people are saying. This information, my source of information is from Volcano Discovery for this research project that I did. So I just want to get that out there now. We definitely have the source also in the description. This is one of the best apps that you can use and one of the best reliable websites you can go to for volcano and earthquake information. Leland, North Carolina. Now let's see what these people were saying. Felt like something big had hit nearby and aftershock effect. Whole neighborhood went outside because everyone felt it. Now some words I'm not going to say, so make sure you look at the screen. I was on the phone with a friend several miles away in Bolivia, North Carolina. We felt and heard a large, you see that B word? It was quick. I walked outside and people in my neighborhood were outside yelling, "Did you feel that?" No damage, just a big sudden, there's that B word again. There's a B word and an E word. The next one, loud blank, the B word. How shook sounded like a large, the E word. The next one, it was more like a pressure wave. Now that's interesting. There was a loud sound like an E word and shaking of house. Next one, the house shook. Also, friends 15 miles away said the same thing. Next one. Now we got to analyze this information because we're detectives right now. We're trying to to at least gather all the evidence and information we can so we can understand what really took place. It was a moderate shake and relatively short, but it was loud. It sounded like it was in my yard. Deep B word and rattles. Next one. I thought someone in my house fell because it shook, but everyone was okay, but it also sounded like an E word at the same time. This is the last bit we're going to go over here because there was 190 reports. Okay, I just took some of the top. Okay, I didn't go through the whole thing. I had seen enough. I kind of understood what was going on. The next one, a thunderous jolt causing our house to jump. The next one, loud the B word like an E word. Heard and felt a B word and my place shook like crazy. Next one, loud E word and heard ceiling shake like someone or something fell down. Next one. The next one is the same as the one before. It looked like she submitted it twice. The next one is large B word. A different B word though. Wasn't sure what was going on. Nothing I have heard before. Almost like a B word went off. Next one. Sounded like something heavy fell. Like a heavy equipment. B word. My dog started barking. I live in a quiet neighborhood with no heavy equipment around. So there you go, folks. You can go through 190 of these. All you have to do is go to this particular earthquake on the 23rd of July. You can actually do a search and you will find this particular earthquake. Now that we have the responses, now let's look at the totals. Let's look at the totals of January 2021 to December 2021. Then we're going to do a snapshot at the stats as far as what occurred between January 2022 and 31 July 2022. And then we're going to see current date, the current month of August. We're just going to go from the 1st to the 19th. I'm sorry, to the 14th. The 1st to the 14th of August 2022. We'll look at that. And then we're going to do a grand total of how many unconfirmed earthquakes happened between January 2021 and August 14th, 2022. And then we're going to compare those numbers to the numbers of what took place during those times and see if the numbers have increased or have they decreased. Let's take a look at that. This right here are the stats for North Carolina. All of their unconfirmed earthquakes. In the first column, you'll see January, December 2021. If you go straight down, you get all the stats. Now, here's that example I was referring to earlier. This is a North Carolina stats. However, South Carolina's unconfirmed earthquakes also are on here too. And remember I mentioned those adjacent states and adjacent cities and all these different little things are undefined because some of the unconfirmed earthquakes actually just had USA. So I had to put them as undefined. I had to declare them some sort of way. So they are all bunched together. So let's look at this. January, December 2021. North Carolina had 55 unconfirmed earthquakes. South Carolina had 15. And close locations or undefined had 32. So there was a total of 102 unconfirmed earthquakes from January 2021 to December 2021. Now let's look at the ledger on the very bottom. It states 2021 total was 230 earthquakes for 2021, magnitudes 0.1 or higher. This is what the website said. So out of 230 earthquakes during that time frame, 102 of them were unconfirmed. So let's look at the next column. January to July 2022. North Carolina, on North Carolina's roster, had 30 unconfirmed earthquakes. South Carolina was on that same list. They had 39. Close proximity type of states or cities that were outside of those areas had 25, total of 94. Now look below at the ledger. January to July 2022, total of 203 earthquakes. So out of 203 earthquakes, 94 of them were unconfirmed. 1 August to 14 August 2022, 1 for North Carolina, 3 for South Carolina, 1 for close location. Now, let's go ahead and do the grand totals. Now, the very, very far right column is going to have the totals from January, December 2021 to 14 August 2022. So during that time frame, North Carolina had 86 unconfirmed. South Carolina had 57. Close locations had 58, and the totals is 201. 201 unconfirmed earthquakes, which means that's almost equivalent to the amount of earthquakes total for January to July 2022. Unbelievable. Now we're going to go ahead and look at South Carolina. Same breakdown. January to December 2021, there were 18 for South Carolina unconfirmed. North Carolina had 26. Close locations had 10. There was a total of 54. Now let's look at the ledger below. 2021, there was only 91 earthquakes. That's it. Magnitudes. For some reason, the website only gave me magnitudes of 2.7 and higher. It didn't give me lower. So out of 91 earthquakes, 54 of them were unconfirmed. Now, next column, January to July 2022, 43 South Carolina, 14 North Carolina, 6 for close locations, 6. Total is 63. Now, let's look at the ledger below. January to July 2022, there was a total of 149 earthquakes. Out of that 149 earthquakes, 63 of them were unconfirmed. 1 to 14 August 2022, we have 3 for South Carolina, 1 unconfirmed for North Carolina, and 0 for close locations, for a total of 4. Now let's go through the totals. From January 2021 to August the 14th, 2022, South Carolina had 64 unconfirmed earthquakes. North Carolina had 41, close locations had 16, and the total is 121. 121 unconfirmed earthquakes between that time frame. Now, I really hope this helps some of the people, the residents of South Carolina and North Carolina, that were very concerned about what was going on in their area. I know that you've tried to talk to people to try to get answers. Well, if you need to use this presentation for any reason, you can. And you can actually go to Volcano Discovery website, and you can pull up by region or area, and you can pick 365 days, 7 days, 30 days, or you can pick a date range, and you can actually get these same numbers. If I'm off by 1 or 2, it's because I'm old, okay? I really try to be accurate. But the thing is that this is really close to what has been given. This right here, if the information is provided is correct, this is a fact. It's not a truth. There's no belief in this whatsoever. I count it, okay? I saw it. It was quantifiable and measurable. I counted it, okay? In summary, find the facts, not the truth. Change your wording. If you're trying to research into this, the truth is not going to help you, because you don't know what belief is in that truth. You have to ask for facts and documentation, something that's measurable, quantifiable. Remember, we went through that. The findings need to be able to be measured, observed, and calculated. It must make logical sense. Speculation is a good tool to open one's mind and for awareness. However, something that is factual is grounded. Hope you benefited from this presentation. Peace, love, prosperity. Ashe Ubuntu. Now, this is my closing, final closing. before we start going over the different places. I already pre-recorded this, and what I'll do is I'll just add the clips with a little bit of music and very little talking, but you'll see that I'm scrolling through the unconfirmed earthquakes so you can see them for yourself. This is very important. This is coming from my heart to everybody that takes the time to listen to this video. We may never know what is generating unconfirmed earthquakes. A detective reverse engineers often to find out how something occurred. He or she has to consider various theories and speculations to get to the root and the motive of the event. One thing to keep in mind, no one ever accuses a detective of being a conspiracy theorist, the term that was invented in 1967. A detective is looked upon as a visionary, thinker, and problem solver. Their attributes takes great skill and talent. From the daughter of a detective, Phoenix Ankaa. You guys stay safe, like, share, and subscribe. And if you hit that little bell, you'll get all the notifications. And South Carolina, North Carolina, pass this video on. Paste it on Facebook, Twitter. Just get this out, okay? Let people, if people are really concerned about what's going on out there, let them know that you got some numbers now. All right? Take care. Tina May, this for you. Peace out, everybody. All right, let's take care of Florida. Let's see what's going on out there. For 2021, what kind of earthquakes did Florida have? Remember, gray circle and a question mark is unconfirmed. This is Florida. Let's see, is any of them actually in Florida? Yes. Northport, Florida. Miami, Florida. Cape Coral, Florida. Fort Myers, Miami, Daytona Beach. Majority, there's a real one there. All the rest of them are pretty much, exception sprinkled here, unconfirmed. Ocala, I hope I pronounced that right. Miami-Dade County, which is actually Durrell. And wow, look at that. All of those are all unconfirmed. So these are the gray circle ones are the unconfirmed earthquakes for Florida for 2021. This was Florida. All right, let's take a look at Georgia. Let's see their earthquakes and unconfirmed, and we can compare them. This is for 2021. If it has a gray circle and a question mark, it is unconfirmed. If it's red with numbers, it was an actual earthquake. Greenville, Chattanooga, Tennessee is showing up on here. Clark County, Athens, Georgia. Some of those are in the North and South Carolina reports. Jacksonville, that one where it was verified. Whitehall is very, very popular for earthquakes. We have Cleveland, Tennessee. Those are also listed in North Carolina and South Carolina. Douglasville, St. Johns County, it's near Jacksonville, Florida. Wow. Okay. Then we have Richland County. That area always has them, and that's in Columbia. Okay, we have, wow, look at all of these. I'm just gonna keep going. It's just so many. So Georgia is known for quite a few unconfirmed earthquakes. Some big ones. 755 people responded to this, and this was actually in Summit, South Carolina, but they felt it in Georgia, otherwise it wouldn't be here. Or they're just putting it as a nearby place. I'm not really sure, but it was not from Georgia. This 250 came from Somerville, in South Carolina. This one came from Macon, Georgia, unconfirmed, 237. So all these gray circles are all unconfirmed earthquakes for the state of Georgia for 2021. Unbelievable. And that was 125 earthquakes. All right, that was Georgia. All right, next, let's look at Alabama for 2021 and see what happened. Were there a lot of unconfirmed? Remember, gray circle and a question mark are unconfirmed earthquakes. Apparently there were. Some of them came out of Montgomery. Just give you a few places that they came out of. Clanton. And it looks like a lot of these actually did. Some came out of Georgia. Some came out of Tennessee, Chattanooga, Cleveland, Tennessee. Wow. Alabama, Madison, Alabama. So these are all their earthquakes. This is it for Alabama. They had quite a few unconfirmed earthquakes. Looked like about almost half or more out of 55 earthquakes for the year. This was Alabama. Now let's check the 2021 earthquakes for California. Gray circle and a question mark are unconfirmed. Santa Barbara, Oxnard, Baja California, Anaheim, San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Francisco. This one here had 298 people say that they felt it in San Diego. This one here said it was 247 people felt it, but it's unconfirmed. It was in Oxnard. This one here said 215 people felt it. It was in Oxnard. Near Santa Maria, 212. 246 people felt it. San Ramon. Oceanside, 765 people said they felt it, and it was an unconfirmed earthquake. Let's see if we can see anything. Basically, it was a 3.8. Remember what we said about 3.8. That's pretty strong to not know what it is. And these are the responses. I'm not going to go through all of them, but they are there. Volcano Discovery. Check and see what's going on in your area. It's a very reliable site. But that was California. So it was quite a few. Virginia. And if you see a gray circle and a question mark like these, that means it's unconfirmed. It's an unconfirmed earthquake. This is for 2021 for the state of Virginia. If you see a red circle, it was an actual earthquake. If you see a gray circle, it wasn't an earthquake, but you shook. It was an unconfirmed earthquake. Once again, this is Virginia. Do you really know what's going on around you? I'm still going. This is Virginia. That was Virginia. The very last one we'll go through will be the United States. First Germany, then the United States. All right, let's look at somewhere where I used to live for a few years. Let's look at Germany. What's going on overseas? 2021 for Germany. Gray circle and a question mark are unconfirmed earthquakes. This is going to be out of They out of 242 showing quakes 2.4 or higher out of 3,000. Wow. So let's take a look and see. They must have a lot of small earthquakes, but look at all of this. Some of these came from France, some came from Germany, Hanover, and Cologne. Oh my God, I love that place. This one actually was identified as a sonic boom right here. So that one, and then about 120 people responded to it. This is it says soon boom there. So I guess there's some things going on in Germany we just not privy to, but you can tell that there are definitely Berlin, there are definitely Prague is a list coming in here, not too near Frankfurt. 105 people responded to that. Frankfurt, Munster, so the Cologne again, Stuttgart. There's bases near a couple of Trier. That was near where I lived. I lived in Bitburg. Oh wow, look at all of these. So yes, they had quite a few unconfirmed earthquakes. They had a lot of earthquakes in Germany. I didn't realize they had so many. Period. 1,913 people responded to this 3.9. Wow. That wasn't an unconfirmed though. That was a pretty big earthquake for out there. So it looked like the rest are earthquakes? Yeah. So this was Germany, 2021. They had a lot of earthquakes. I had no idea they had that many. This has been a very big learning experience for me about locations. I tell you folks, so much goes on. Even I didn't realize that it was this many unconfirmed earthquakes, especially for Germany. This was 2021 in Germany, quite a few earthquakes and quite a few unconfirmed earthquakes. Okay, this is going to be the whole entire United States. I peeked at some of them that just said USA, and I found out one of these unconfirmed earthquakes was actually in Texas. So this is, some of these will just say USA. For some reason, it won't identify where it's at. But we have Indiana, South Carolina. I won't go through all of them. Texas, just to give you an idea of where some of these are. North Carolina, Utah, California, San Diego, Boulder, Colorado. We see Texas, Midland, Texas, Charleston, South Carolina. Let's see if we see some places. Pinnacles in California, Malibu. Oh no, that's not one. Washington, Seattle, Washington had one. O'Fallon, Missouri had one. Alabama, Texas, Tennessee, California, Georgia, Indiana, Alabama. Then there's one here in California, Escondido, Utah, Illinois, Indiana. I'm not gonna read them all. Florida. Well, we know Florida has a lot. Virginia. There's two there, Petersburg and Richmond, Virginia. Alaska. I'm shocked about that. They have so many earthquakes. Santa Barbara, Oxnard, Spokane, Washington, Chattanooga, Tennessee, Anaheim, California, New Haven, Connecticut, Massachusetts. This actually says sonic boom in Oregon, so that one was justified. I mean, they did say what it was. Man, I hope we not have San Francisco, Phoenix, Arizona, Albania, New York, Massachusetts. I'm gonna just start saying places. Arizona that I haven't said that much. Ohio, Toledo, Ohio, Dallas, Texas, Kentucky, Arizona, Long Beach, California. They do have them. Illinois. I didn't know there was an Elgin, Illinois also. Know about South Carolina. Florida, New York, Staten Island, Elizabeth City in North Carolina, Oceanside, California, Savannah, Georgia, San Diego, Knoxville, Tennessee, Springdale, Arkansas, Los Angeles, Winston, Santa Barbara, New York, New York. Here's one that had 292 people respond that happened in Brentwood, New York. You see state of Washington again, Los Angeles. And then there's a cluster of them here. North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Arizona. See, this is not just North and South Carolina. This is a worldwide event. Flint, Michigan, Newark, New Jersey, Utah, Ogden, Flint, Michigan again, near Phoenix, Arizona, near Long Beach, Milford, Delaware, Wilmington, Delaware, Virginia Beach, Oxnard. We know about South Carolina, Alabama, Utah had it, some more. Okay, we have Tennessee, Little Rock, Arkansas, Massachusetts again. San Ramon, those were all earthquakes. Okay, Arizona, North Carolina, Oceanside. Excuse my eyes if I mess up, try not to. New York, New York. Manchester, New Hampshire. Nevada. Greenville, New York. Didn't know New York had so many. I should have done a New York slide. South Carolina, Oakland, California, Los Angeles, Dallas, Washington State, Harbor, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, Florida, Alabama, North Carolina, New York, New York, Springfield, Ohio, Florida, Oakland, Wyoming. It's just giving you an idea where these places are. Idaho, North Carolina, San Diego, Georgia, USA. We don't know where that is. We'd have to actually look at it. Another USA, 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 USA. All of these say USA. There was 214 reports, 106 reports. People felt it, so it was probably a 3.8. Raleigh, San Francisco, Washington, D.C. That's interesting. Vallejo, California. I don't hear about that much. Vallejo, Massachusetts. I don't hear it often. New Jersey, Tennessee, Georgia. So this is just giving you an idea. It's so much. Toledo, Ohio, Bronx, New York. I'm skipping around now. Wisconsin, Virginia, Long Beach, California again, Los Angeles, Woodstock, Virginia. 325 people said something about that one. Portland, Sacramento, Atlanta, Michigan, Tennessee, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Las Vegas, Nevada, New Jersey, Hawaii, near Honolulu, Indio, California. Any of these I haven't said anything about. There's New York again, Georgia, California, Missouri. I'm sorry, Missouri was actually a 4.3. Gilroy, Burlington, Vermont, Oregon, Georgia, California, stop right there, Los Angeles, Oklahoma, Maryland, Columbia, Maryland, New York, New York, White City, that's actual, making sure I don't mess up here, New York again, San Francisco, Phoenix, Arizona. Oh, whoa, they use the explosion word in New Jersey. Okay, at least they told you what it was. These other ones we don't know. Los Angeles, Bakersfield, Anaheim, New York, New York, Portland, Oregon, Santa Clarita, California, New York, New York. Wow, they've been doing all kinds of stuff in New York. Had no idea. Washington State again, Florida, North Carolina, Massachusetts, Durham, North Carolina. This is just to give everyone an idea. You know, I know many of you may not want to see all of this, but there's somebody sitting there going, I know I felt something, but they never said what it was. And if I'm saying that they're unconfirmed, they never will tell you what it was. Missouri, Arkansas, Stockton, California. Okay, think you guys get the idea. I'm starting to see the same places all over again. Apparently, there's something going on at these locations. I have no idea what. Well, I have some theories, but I don't know for sure. Baltimore, Maryland, Hartford, Connecticut. If you notice, a lot of these places, Temecula, Reno, Nevada, are very busy places. If you could think about what could it be that would tie these places together and would require some sort of construction underground, you might get close to the answer. Riverside, California, Huntersville, North Carolina, and this is a whole bunch. This all happened on the 27th of July. 27th July starts here and it ends right here. Now, where were those places? North Carolina, Pennsylvania, California, Maryland, California, Florida. Okay. Then here is another very long stretch. This happened on the 26th and the 25th and the 24th and the 23rd. So from the 23rd to the 26th, there was stuff happening in Georgia, Pennsylvania, Oklahoma, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Michigan, Florida, California, Rhode Island, Colorado, and California. That was happening. Here's another long stretch here. Buffalo, New York, California, Massachusetts, California, Texas, Indiana, and New Hampshire. We're still going. I'm not going to go through all of these, but you can see, and then I'm still seeing the same places now all over again. These were all unconfirmed earthquakes for the United States in 2021. The list is very, very long. I'm just going to show you how long it is. Just remember the gray circles with the question marks right here are all unconfirmed earthquakes. Pretty much I'm seeing places that normally don't have earthquakes, and that's places like Maryland, Connecticut, Kansas is on here. Just need to see if there's anywhere else that I haven't seen. Wow, look at this. This is unbelievable. I'll just go through it just so you can get an idea. This is happening all over the world. I mean, I pulled up Germany and saw them. But this list is unbelievable. I want you to see the seismic energy at the end of this list to see what this power is. There's actually power and energy generated anytime there's an earthquake. Concord, California, okay. Florida, New Jersey again. I'm not used to seeing New Jersey. These are actual earthquakes here. Look like whatever was going on stopped now all of a sudden out the clear blue sky. And this was during the early part of the year. I'm seeing January. Look like this list is declining with the year. So this is what it was. This is the formula that they use for the power that's generated from this. This is how much it was. It was equivalent to this many tons of TNT or this many atomic, you see the word. See that? That's a lot. That's very powerful. This was the United States. And guys, thanks so much. If you stayed to the end of this video, I really appreciate it, and I hope you got some information from this. We should know what's going on in our under our feet, or we should be a little concerned. Something is going on. I don't know what it is for sure. I don't all I know is my personal truths, which are my beliefs. I don't know the facts. But maybe you can find them out in your area. Maybe you can actually have this information, and maybe you can discover something. I don't know. But I wish everyone the best of luck. Like, share, and subscribe, and make sure you have a great day. Ciao.